Hello everyone, today we are going to learn about variable declaration in C++ programming language. So first we will write boilerplate of basic C++ program. So main is a function with integer return type value. So it will return 0. So what compiler or interpreter will do? It will start executing our program from line number 1, and here it will read hash include. It means including preprocessor directory. So this is our source code. This is our main program. So it will include input output stream into our source code with the help of hash include preprocessor directory. And we are using namespace for standard functions and keywords. And these are the inbuilt functions and keywords. And at line number 3 nothing will happen because it's an empty statement. At line number 4 we have our main function, and return type data type of this main function is integer, and we haven't written anything in the main function, and we are returning a 0 value which is a integer value. This is how we can declare a variable integer num. So this variable is declared into our memory. It means we are saying to the computer that my number variable is declared into the memory. It will have some memory address. It will block some memory into the RAM. Okay, and value of number will be stored at that memory location, and we can access memory location by using ampersand of number. So it will tell us memory address of this number variable, and we can store value into this number variable like this number equal to 10. If we run this program and if we try to see the output, then nothing will happen because we are not printing anything. So nothing will be printed. And we can similarly we can declare functions also. Suppose we want to declare a function called void greet. So void is a return type. It means void means nothing. This function will return nothing. So main was also a function. It was returning integer type value, and it was returning 0 integer value. And greet is also a function. It will not return anything. Return type of greet function is void. And then we have parenthesis, then we have semicolon. It means we are saying to the compiler that we have greet function in our source code. Okay, so how execution will start? It will start from line number 1. Here we are including IO stream, then line number 2, then 3, line number 3, nothing will happen. At line number 4, we are saying to the compiler will know at line number 4 that greet is a function. We are declaring a greet function. So compiler will say, okay, you are promising me that that greet is a function into our source code, and functionality of greet function you will define later. So compiler will not give any error. It will say, okay, I'm fine with it. Then line number 5 will be executed. Then line number 6, compiler will encounter main function, and execution of any program will start from the main function only. And it will execute line number 7. Here line number 7 we are declaring a variable called number. So this name number is identifier to the compiler. So later if you want to access value of this number variable, like suppose number was 10 and we wanted to print cout number, then value of this number will be printed with num. This name will so num num is the identifier. And at line number 4, compiler will identify this function later, functionality of this function later with this identifier name. Name of this function greet is the identifier. Suppose Suppose this variable num is used here, and if I want to declare one more variable int with the same name, then compiler will throw error, because at line number 7 we are promising to the compiler that we are declaring a variable with num identifier name. This is the name of the variable, num is identifier to the compiler, and we are saying that we will initialize value of number variable later. We will do whatever we want to do with the number variable later. And at line number 8 we are saying we are declaring another variable uh, whose name is same to the previous variable num. So here also again we are declaring a variable with the same name which is used earlier at line number 7. So compiler will not allow it. It will throw error. Because suppose at line number 9 you are saying number equal to 10, and this will have memory address like 100. Okay, when we declare a variable it will block some memory, and suppose memory address of this variable at line number 8 is 200. This line number 8 variable num will block some memory in the RAM, and at line number 9 we are saying store value 10 at the memory address of num variable. So compiler will get confused where to store this value 10. It should be stored at memory address 100, or it should be stored at memory address 200. So it's the ambiguous thing for the compiler. That is why compiler doesn't allow to declare a variable name which is used previously. Okay, so if we run this program, then it will throw error. See, it is saying redeclaration of int num. We can't redeclare num variable again. So we can declare a variable with num1. So it is allowed because num is different than num1. So this so identifier name is num here and identifier name is num1 here. So it is allowed. If we run this program, then it won't raise any error. See. So whenever we declare a variable, what we do, first we write data type. Here we are saying that data type of this variable is integer. So it will store the integer value. And here we are writing the name of the variable. So there are rules to write a variable name. It cannot start with the number. So this is wrong. We can't declare a variable which is starting as a digit number. Okay, and it can't start with special characters like dollar. Dollar number is not allowed in C++. Okay, and yeah, num1 is allowed. Numbers can come into the variable name after the first letter, like here. This is also allowed. N1 um1, it is a valid variable name. It is numbers are allowed, and but variable name can't start with the number. It is invalid, and it can't start with the special characters also, like dollar. It is invalid. If we use underscore, then it is valid. Variable name in the C++ can start with underscores also. So it is a valid variable name, and it is also a valid variable name. So we can say either variable name will start either with underscore or lower or upper alphabet later. And with the function also same goes. Function name can start with the underscore, it can start with the capital letter, it can start with the small letter, but it can't start with digit value, number value. It can't start with uh, special character like dollar greet. It is not allowed, and it can have numbers. Function can have numbers, and it can have upper characters also, and it can have underscore. between the characters. So these things are allowed, like it is allowed. So this is known as a declaration. Here we are declaring this function and here we are declaring this variable. Similarly, we can declare class also, like class team. So this is the name of the class. Right now we are just declaring the class with this team name. So compiler will know team is a class with the team identifier name. And class body and members and functionality of this class we will write later. We are saying to the compiler that team is a class, and functionality and body of the class and members of the class we will write later. Similarly, we can declare a structure also with the struct keyword, and suppose node. So we are saying node is a structure, and body of this node structure we will write later. So what we are doing in this program? At line number 4, compiler will know greet is a function, and functionality and body of this function we will define later. And at line number 5, compiler will know with the help of this class keyword, the team is a class and name of this class is a team, and this compiler will remember this identifier name team. So whenever we refer this name team, then compiler will know this name team is identifier and it is a class. Then compiler will come to line number 6 and it will see struct with this keyword. Compiler will know that node is a structure, and name of this structure is node. So basically, for compiler, node is this name node is identifier to a structure. So whenever we write node, this name node, compiler will know, yeah, it is the identifier name for a structure. So whenever we declare a function or variable or a structure or a class, then it will be declared into our memory. So it will hold some memory address into the RAM. So greet will hold some memory block in the RAM. Team will hold some memory block in the RAM, and node will also hold some memory block in the RAM, and number variable will hold some memory block in the RAM. So this is known as a declaration. So here we are declaring the function, here we are declaring a class, here we are declaring this node structure, and here we are declaring a variable. So this whole thing is known as a declaration.